Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Second day of the Makers Festival, mid-afternoon. We are almost halfway through. That's been a quite interesting day. Starting with those mega trends this morning. If you miss it, you missed it because it was actually quite enlightening in light of what happened today. So I sending all my love to our fellow Americans who probably a bit heartbroken today, as we saw on the previous session, and was really heartbroken. But here we are talking about innovation, and what I'm bringing here today is three of our impact hubs, and they're gonna be talking about projects and service that they are offering for the community. And ways of actually elevating the sales. So there's three very different things, and what's going to happen? They're going to do a pitch of 5 minutes. They're going to explain their idea. They're going to explain the way that they're doing this, and you're going to choose afterwards a room. So please don't disappear when we say breakout room. Like normally there was like 15 people disappear, 20 people, please don't disappear. So this session you're going to have to do a bit of work, but it's more, we're going to put you in breakout rooms so you can explore a bit more and have a conversation, understand better what is the proposition, give ideas, get inspired, share also how you were doing this in your impact hub. So we have three different things here. We have Hermes, who are going to be talking about a kind of a new membership model. We have Ashmina and Matthew, who are going to be talking about how they're using data, metrics, numbers, to make better sales on the membership and space. That I found very interesting how they're doing that approach. And we also have Elena, who is going to be talking to us about a new service that they are offering for the public to attract a new type of member. There are some sustainability service that they are offering as a consultants, to attract, as I said, different type of members who can pay, who are a bit more developed and are looking to be more sustainable. So if without further ado, I would pass the word to Hermes for your pitch.
Thank you very much. So let me see if the presentation is coming. It's a pleasure to be here, by the way. Getting to know also this new platform is really nice. And it's also very interesting because I only see the beautiful faces of the rest of you and not everyone in the... Okay, but here we are. So as Maria was mentioning, our innovation or the way we are doing this new program slash product is less of a membership add-on, membership package, and more of a utilizing different things that we have together in our Impact Hub locally. So why this proposal? Well, it's based on several trends that are happening. You probably have seen that the Generation Z, it's coming to the market. All of those who were born in between what or after 96 and 2012 are the ones who are graduating, having jobs, and especially the older generation within the Gen Z, and they are in used or in a need of different kind of offers. We have also seen an increase of demand for offline meetings, especially post-pandemic, and there is a real life and unique experiences as a differentiator that we can actually leverage. Also, the last two trends have to do with lectures and workshops alone are not enough, which has to do also with the commoditization of the incubator and accelerator models that we have seen around the landscape, not only most likely in our Impact Hub and in our region, but maybe all around the world. So here comes the opportunities. Our opportunities are basically focusing on our core assets as Impact Hub, and in our case, as Impact Hub Zagreb, we relied very much on collaboration and co-creation as two of the main pillars of the value creation. We also want to leverage communities as a service model, so that's a huge new opportunity for us. I'm looking at the clock, I still have minutes. And we wouldn't like to reinvent the wheel, right? So we would like to better build on what have been working in our reality, and also borrowing from other Impact Hubs references and value propositions as well. And finally, I believe that we can play a key role in the so-called experience economy that has to do with also the new trends above mentioned. So next slide is related to what is the proposal. While this slide comes, thank you very much. We are proposing a modular entrepreneurial support offer were based on a diagnostic tool that we have developed with a partner. We can offer critical support for the participants to focus and thrive in a safe environment or a safe space. Why or how? Actually, how? By leveraging our community and the ones that we are developing within our Impact Hub Zagreb surrounding. Also the expert network that we have gathered for around 12 years and the unique know-how in practices and methodologies that we have. So on the right side of this slide, you can see normally the entrepreneur's plan is as the first picture shows, but the reality is completely different. So this is what is happening when you are an entrepreneur. And what we want to do is offer the best and most critical support when they need it the most. By accessing and making a community or a tribe, putting this at the core of the offer. Entrepreneurship as a journey of accessing unique and relevant resources, not just like giving them something that they might not use. And also focus on individual needs versus offering generic content like many other incubators or accelerators are already doing. And obviously enhancing the participants' experience. So my last slide will be related to what is basically the offer. I have 1 more minute, so let's go to the last slide. It disappeared. The last slide was the best slide, but it will come in a second. The slide is related to what is really the offer. And we have divided the offer into things, the core model. If we manage to put the slide back. Yes, I don't see the slide, but okay, I can tell you about the slide. It was a visual slide, but the core offer is divided, and the offer is called Salad. The offer includes diagnostic tool, a business development component, a community access component, and an outdoor retreat. So bear with me. This is the core offer that we are normally offering to people. And it's based on 3 pillars: on facilitation, data management, and having the proper team in place when we offer this so-called Zalet offer. And there are different add-ons. These add-ons have to do with different methodologies, practices that we have, and they are offered on demand on the top of this core offer. We are talking about well-being practices, the working space, our physical. There you are. Thank you very much for making this magic possible. So I was mentioning already the Salad, and you have seen there the diagnostic, the business development, community access, and outdoor retreat as the 3 main components. And the add-ons that can be added to the offer on demand depends on the funding organization, or depends on the profile of the beneficiary, such as circular design support, well-being practices, working space, and also mentoring or coaching on demand. So these ones are already offered into our market of around, the value per participant is in between 2,000 to 3,000 euro for a minimum of 5 of them. And we are offering it not yet as an experience-based offer, but we were offering it up until before last summer as an enhanced programmatic offer. But we want to make this shift into experience-based offer, not only for entrepreneurs, but for people in transition. Selling add-ons on demand and as a 3-month length program. I'm sorry if I took a little bit more, but there was a problem with the third slide. Thank you very much. Hopefully you join my breakout room. I'm looking forward to co-create a better proposal with you.
Great, thank you, Hermes. Thank you very much. That sounds very interesting, and yeah, I've been studying a bit of trends, right? And a lot of the trends that you presented here are actually the ones that I think your offer kind of it really in line with all the trends that I see for the new generations and what people are looking for. So well done. So I'll pass now to Elena. Are you ready, Elena?
Yes, I am.
Great.
So we're actually moving to a very different topic, I would say, but maybe also integrated somehow. So greetings from Trento, so from Italy. And in these 5 minutes, I will really try to talk with my heart, first of all, in order to show you what we are doing when it comes to sustainability. So we have somehow launched less than 1 year ago this business unit, we can actually call it, called Dantian, is a Chinese way to express the power, where actually the power is present within organization. So that's why we directly recall the Dantian. And so it is a way for us to really challenge the status quo and to bring a new proposal for sustaining the ability to impact. If we move to the next slide, I can tell you that basically this idea came from myself and Paolo. Maybe many of you know Paolo is a founding partner of Impact Up Trento, because we started to really wonder to ourselves, but is this the sustainability what we want to see in the world? So, brainstorming and deep in dive into our vision, we really agreed on the fact that we want to make sustainability, to me, to be a mean and not a goal for real advancing the existence of organization and individuals. So somehow we're really trying to say, okay, sustainability has to become a mean for you as an organization, not the ultimate goal, even if, of course, all the legislation are pushing companies to reach sustainability as a final goal. But we're trying really to challenge this talk and how we're trying to do this. Basically, in the next slide, here we have a sentence that really enlightens us and can also help you to understand what we are currently trying to challenge the status quo. And I would like really to read this sentence together with you. Between every stimulus and response, there is a space. In this space lies our opportunity to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And somehow it seems that for organizations, when we talk about sustainability right now, they don't find the space anymore to think, to brainstorm, especially when we talk with our target group, our large organizations. They have to rush, they have to respond to legislation, they have to respond to investors, they have to provide data for any kind of stakeholders that need maybe the same data. So they don't have the space to really innovate. And so they just take for granted what the legislation requires them. And maybe if we are lucky, they do it and they externalize to an external consultant that do exactly the same project that was done for another company. And that's it. So we really want to bring this topic as an evolutionary opportunity. And how we are going to do this. In the next slide, we really try to summarize somehow our model. And first of all, the model start from a very important aspect. The model aim to create a space for company to be in frequency with nature. Please keep this in mind, to be in frequency with nature, because we are not in frequency with nature. And how are we doing this? We are trying to work on the inner, so on the inner dimension of the being of organization, so working on the cognitive part, on the emotion, and also on the conscious part. Because if I'm telling you that you need to start a new purchasing process for selecting your suppliers according to ESG criteria, this comes to a new neural connection from the purchasing department. And afterward, you will put in place a process for purchasing sustainably. So first of all, we talk with you and we try to work on the inner part. And of course, our framework is that the IDGs, everybody knows it, I think, and I'm really in love with it, because finally we can bring this topic with a very valid framework that is not just our opinion, but is globally shared. And afterwards, we help you to get ready for CSRD, for any kind of legislation you need to fulfill. So this approach is complementary. So we generally really work hand by hand when we talk about sustainability. So sustainability for us means inner sustainability of the sustainability teams or whatever team you're working for the organization, and that lands in the outer, so at process level, at business model level. If you go on the next slide, we can really see an example of services that we are trying. No, we are actually doing. We are already doing with some clients. And for instance, if you look on the lower part of the slide, you see the inner, right? So the inner for us is this space where I don't see the presentation anymore. Okay, I see it again, sorry. So the inner is for us, let's say, the necessary condition to work for the outer. So when we, for instance, work on developing a sustainability report, which for us is defined as a mindful sustainability report, we also work with the sustainability team to create new neural connection. So to really understand how we can create new sustainable habits in order to help the company to integrate measure sustainability effectively. So currently we are working on mindful sustainability report with large organization that has to, fulfill the CSRD requirements, but also we are doing this approach with double materiality analysis. Maybe for some of you you're familiar, the European Union requires large companies to focus on impact, risk, and opportunities. But we don't want to do it in back office. We don't want to do just in front of the laptop. We want to feel it. We want to feel sustainability. We want to feel the terminology of impact, of risk, and opportunity. So we do this exercise, of course, with metrics and everything very, very stick on our methodology, but also in nature. So we do also this in nature. And we do a lot of training and coaching, especially with sustainability leaders that somehow need to struggle inside the company to make others understand that sustainability matters and it is not just a nice things to do. And that's pretty much the where we are currently focusing. So to summarize, in the next slide, what are we doing? What means innovation for us? For us, first of all, is the target. So we are really collaborating with medium, large organizations based in European Union for the moment. And the way we are doing this and the way we are innovating our services is first of all, supporting large companies to create a mindful space to embark on a CSRD compliant journey. Second, we are supporting also medium-sized companies that do not fall directly under these compliances, but maybe they are first-tier suppliers of large companies, and they have to hire their sustainability profile. We had, for instance, a conversation today with this client that needs to provide a lot of data, a lot of things. They don't understand why, and we're just trying to help them to really raise the bar in order to continue their business continuity with this very large client. And the third target segment is our companies that maybe are also small, but they're very relevant on the market. They are sustainable from the cradle, but they need to quantitably demonstrate that they are sustainable. So we help them to find the right KPI, the right metrics to demonstrate that sustainability for them is not a trend, was embedded since the beginning in the business model, and we're just trying to, find the right terminology, the right language to express this. Ultimately, the innovation part, let's say, in the approach is to really challenge the status quo and say, okay, we support you through the journey, but we want that inner and outer comes together. So it's not always easy, I can tell you, but we really believe and we really are, centered in what we're saying, and we are seeing a lot of good responses for this, and people are also trusting in what we are proposing, also because they see our background and the story cases. And maybe the last thing we would like to say as an Impact Hub Trento is that maybe we as Impact Hub, as a community, we could position at European and global level as a sparring partner capable of supporting this kind of target segments. So it would be nice to be maybe, to find other Impact Hub that together with us want to embark on this journey. So this is also maybe, a call that I would like to discuss in our breakout room. Sorry for being late, Maria. Maybe I'm late.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elena. That's very exciting, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Because it's not only about building social startup, but also if we green and make the current startups or companies greener, then we can advance faster because these people already have business model, they're already working, and I think in terms of the environment, we can also create create a huge impact with this. So well done.
Thank you.
And it's also for me a really smart way of attracting different type of entrepreneurs in community to our spaces, right? That actually can give back a lot to the startups, to the people who are starting, but also is a different type of members who can afford pay more for some of our services, right? So it's starting to serve a different type of audience. So well done. And last but not least, Shamina and Matthew. I don't know who is going to speak, but I'll pass on to you.
Great, thank you. Hi, I'm Ashrina, and I have my colleague Matthew here from Impact Hub London, and we'll just cover the basic metrics for sales and collecting data in order to have more members into the space. If we can just go on to the next slide. Okay, there we go. So I think for us, when we started off with our new space and understanding our existing space, for us, the most important part was to understand where exactly are we getting the data. And just to cover this up, what do we mean by data? We mean by just getting potential leads or potential members who could be part of the co-working space. And most importantly, we want to get like-minded individuals and organizations who are socially driven or impact driven within the area. And there could be different sources for different hubs, and we have explored various sources such as retargeting people who are visiting our website, generating new leads through Google Ads, through referral programs, and a lot through events as well. And we realized that we had this huge pool of data which could be eventually be used for retargeting over the months and understanding where exactly are we really losing our leads. We did come a couple of months before we actually realized that we are facing a problem in order to understand how do we track this data. So of course, one of our backbone for the data bit is our CRM software. And how do we kind of utilize that and really explore that platform in its whole in order to probably do like email marketing or reaching out to them by inviting through open houses into the space just for them to come and look into it, and of course a lot of referral programs through social media like LinkedIn. While we had these different sources, it was also important for us to analyze which sources really worked for us best, so that we could use those sources again and put in more money or put in more time and effort of the team to kind of collect more data in order to generate more revenue or even generate or bring in new potential members into the space. So we also focused on, so we studied a couple of hubs, and of course Impact Hub Mudgett was one of the hubs that we really focused on and understood what their metric was, and they were working on a 2% conversion rate. So we created a strategy which was down to bottom of working that we need a 2% conversion rate and how much data do we actually collect. And then when we knew how much data we wanted, we kind of streamlined the kind of sources. And once we streamlined the sources, after 2 quarters, we analyzed which sources really worked best. And then we started focusing on those particular sources and investing more into it in order to continue bringing in people into the space. The other one would be community engagement metric. So while we have brought in people into the space and create a good flow of getting regular people in, it was also important to retain them by doing a lot of community events or maybe inviting people for other external partnership events, and really just resonating with the members through value proposition that we are selling or giving out, so that they can resonate with the hub rather than just blankly selling up memberships. So I think that's one thing that the community engagement metric was really important for us, which Matthew will talk more deeply about in the next slide. And then also to understand the customer lifetime value and the churn rate analysis. So we in London, we understood the seasons that really worked well for us. So having what kind of membership is working best, what are the months that memberships are going to be paused or we're going to have members leave us. So for instance, the summertime, so we have June, July, August our hub is pretty much empty and we have the maximum number of members pausing their membership or even leaving us. And then we start again with September, October, November, which is extremely busy for us, where new members want to join us, old members are resuming the membership. So I think this season is also very important for our hub specifically to understand when is the best time to actually invest into the sources in order to generate leads, and when is the best time to kind of collate the data and utilize that empty time to work for the coming 3 months. So I think these 3 metrics are extremely important for us to collate data and work towards a high conversion rate and membership sales. I will now go to the next slide. Yeah. So the key take points to acquire members. So of course, we want to have a busy, buzzing hub, and our main aim is to get like-minded individuals, people working in the same space. So one of the clear proposition that we tell to members is the value proposition that we are giving to members. So, for instance, a new space in Houston is focused on life and science, whereas the King's Cross location is more towards climate and sustainability. So I think when we are getting members, this is something that we resonate with them. So probably having clear value propositions that the hub offers and how you can resonate with your members so that you can have more community events which are more focused towards that, or even having more partnership events which are more closely aligned with the members and the hub's a theme that is aligned. And then we also have access to resources, for example, tools and support. And I think this is something we spoke a lot about in the European gathering, was that we should really start utilizing with the global tools that we have in place, and how we can actually offer these tools to our hub members, which can actually be utilized and beneficial for them. We also provide external sources such as business support, which can be given by the team member of Impact Hub London. So these are additional value propositions that we offer to our members. Another example that we can give you of unique value proposition of our new space is that it is one of the first net zero building. So now a lot of members that are looking to join us, or a lot of teams that are looking to join us, these are some things which are something that they look forward to, because they're also very cautious in terms of what kind of hub they're joining or what kind of co-working space they're joining, rather than just getting into another WeWork. And of course, the external events that we have and how can they benefit from it. So we're really trying to provide these external events as another tool or another platform to network with other organizations in London and beyond, and give them that opportunity. A lot of partnerships. We have another partner called the Knowledge Quarter. They basically have a lot of partnered organizations within the borough that we work out of. And now that's like a great networking, a great partnership where that could be another offering to the members that we have into the space. So these are some key takeaway points that could help acquire new members into the space. The next slide, please.
You have one more slide, right, Ash?
Yes, and now Matthew, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, so for this aspect of things, I think really when I think about community management and what data we can use to inform that, I think there's two major points as how can we collect data and how can we track that data. So what I'm mainly focused in this space is first and foremost the customer or the member journey, and then also what events do we want to put on, what business support is being demanded by the community, how can we make sure that our events are relevant. So for us at Impact Hub London, we have 5 regular community events. We have 2 breakfasts, one every 2 weeks. We have a community lunch, and then we have hub drinks every 2 weeks as well. And so for us, really, we see that as both kind of the event, but also an opportunity for data gathering. So something that we've started in the past sort of 3 to 4 months across the 2 locations that we have here in London is a bit of an account management system. So between my team, we have a sort of grouping of members. And each of those events, each of those touch points from the onboarding process through to informal conversations in the space, through to conversations in the community events, as well as if the members are open to it, coffee catch-ups every 3 months. These are opportunities for us to get a deeper understanding of what are the business needs, are there any professional development needs, and what are the interest areas? Are they interested in our yoga event that we've got a yoga instructor on site, and so just bringing those together. So having the account management system that sits next to our CRM. Many of you might be familiar with Nexodus, which is the CRM that we use. We use this for the main aspects of the CRM system in terms of tracking the interests and the needs of members. However, we also use a separate spreadsheet that organizes the members by level of membership, and then is more of a note-taking place for myself and my team across the 2 spaces to brain dump the information that they might have learned after having a conversation in passing with a member, for example, about, oh, they're working on raising more funds in the next 2 months. They're trying to get investment by this period. Okay, let's connect them with our business support service that we have in our space at the moment, and connect them with that so that they can access that. And then let's look ahead at what we've got in the pipeline for speakers at the lunches or the breakfast, because it's those events that we're looking to turn into kind of lunch and learn or breakfast and learn opportunities. So for me, those are the 3 key things: having a clear member onboarding process and a clear member journey throughout the whole aspect, and having identified those touch points throughout the member journey where we can regularly and frequently ask the kind of questions, and then having those multiple touch points. If they're not so keen for a formal coffee, then what are we hearing when we're pushing the cart round for breakfast, when we have those informal conversations. And then it's the tracking with the spreadsheets, and having those tools together so that we can make decisions with an understanding of what the business or professional needs are from the community.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And I really want to bring Archimina and Matthew, because I really like what they are doing in terms of, like, we do our member journey and we all have that in our impact hubs and so on, but they are really using the data and they're really collecting the data and they're doing the best use of it to actually generate more sales and being smart around this. So I really like that approach. So now, Al, we're going to have 3 breakout rooms. Please don't disappear during the breakout rooms. And you're going to have about 15 to 20 minutes to discuss, to ask more questions for 3 of them, for 4 of them, but it's 3 rooms. And just like all the questions that you might have or ideas, or like share what you were doing in your impact hub, how it's different, and use this to learn about those innovations or these new ways and these new ways of generating sales and products. And we're going to come back here, and when we come back here, I'm going to ask people to share, and I would explain about raising the rent beforehand. But now, breakout rooms, choose yours. We are ready for. As always, we need more time.
Always.
As always. I always need more time when we're having really cool conversations. Look, if you have, I would like someone who are in the room to share a little bit of what was the conversation, what was the main insight. So what I'm going to say is ask the person, if you want to share on behalf of your group, or you want to share what your main takeaway, you need to raise your hand so Al can put you on the stage. So you need to raise your hand. I love that. That's my favorite part of this. Oh my platform. Please raise your hand if you want to share, and Al is going to bring you to the stage. In the meantime, I want to just acknowledge that Ana Laura is here, and we have the new knowledge space that has been redesigned, and she was one of the makers who gave us some feedback and did a journey with us. So thank you, Anna, for that. There was other makers who did as well, but Anna, just because I saw her. And so, does anyone want to share? No one raised a hand yet. No one want to share? So maybe Hermes, what are the questions that people have for you?
I mean, we had obviously a very short time, but unfortunately, it was only me because there were questions about the program. But I heard something. If I could read between the lines, and thank you for the ones who were there. There is a strong need of standardization, and the things that we are doing, and that I'm very happy to hear about that need, because it's what is going to be happening with our impact intelligence outcomes. If you know about the task force, standardization will happen and will need to happen tomorrow or yesterday, because that is a way to really offer things that can be set apart or can be competitive versus others that are in the ecosystem of support. And the second one, so data strategy is something that we will need to do. And the second point that I heard was, we have assets such as community. We have assets such as all of the knowledge and the know-how. So why shouldn't we use it a little bit wiser if we know that the trends are on looking for experiences as unique experiences as a differentiator, and we in perhaps are masters of creating spaces for collaboration and co-creation, and creating spaces for this trust between the cohorts and the participants, to emerge and to be part of the whole value proposition. So rather than having a membership proposal, what the innovation with all of your inputs was more of, hey, let's just collectively use smarter what we have to offer better products. Thank you.
Elena, what about you? What people ask you that you want to leave as a takeaway?
Yeah, maybe we only have 3 minutes, so we'll just take one question. And the question that was raised to me was, which skills do we need to somehow embark on this journey? And the answer was to, let's say, first of all, be very good and strong in impact management. And when we talk about impact management, I refer to being able to manage and handle international standards as GRI, first of all, and the ESRS. So this is also my suggestion, to go into the standard and maybe become an expert of this. And for the inner part, just trusting and maybe also studying a little bit of neuroscience. Neuroscience is a key for understanding how to create new neural connection and convince others that is what we need to embark on a sustainable transformation journey. Yeah. That's it. I give the floor to the others. Sorry.
That is the way of Impact Hub doing consultants, right? The way that you guys are doing, looking at the inner part and to the more how can I say, objective part. I think that could be our niche, right? Is doing like consultants in a different way. And I think that can really fly in the market. Ashmina.
Yes. So I think we had very straightforward questions and more technical about what are the CRM softwares that we use and what are the processes that we follow in order to, reach out to either program alumni or even trying to get members into the space. And of course, we are internally also going through a transition and experimenting ways as to what are the best ways to kind of utilize our data, collect data, and retarget data. And we also had a question which was logistically towards the logistical side and community side, which was also very technical, very to the point, which I think I'll ask Matt to take up.
Yeah. Said some questions on how much FTE resourcing there is in the community team and yeah, how we engage members and alumni. Yeah, so and then also cleaning contracts. Community is very much also operations, so it's great to be able to discuss that.
So more of content and tips and how manage community and standards and templates, all of that knowledge base. You know where to find this. I hope after a full day of us telling, a second full day of us telling this, I hope you know where it is. If you don't know where it is, reach out to us and we will set up you. And I'll see you in the next session. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for sharing
Great.
and for everybody who was here. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.